Good morning, everybody. Actually, good afternoon. Little bit of a late start today. But you know what? This colder weather, I like sleeping late, so I ain't going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it at all. My name is Edward. This is my Star Citizen gameplay. Doing it live on Twitch. Later on, it ends up over on YouTube. So there was this holiday season in-game called Luminalia. And you could make some easy credits in-game just by running around and collecting these little green boxes and then selling them for 1,000 credits apiece. But that has ended. So how are we going to have fun after Luminalia? What is our post-Luminalia fun going to be? There's a couple things going on. We got hit with the 3.12 patch right before the holiday break, but we got these green packages to play with. So I was playing those. I got my credits up to 1 million, and now that's gone away. So there's a couple things we could do. I mean, obviously there's bounty hunting missions, there's cargo running, there's mining gameplay loops. You could try to be a pirate, although the mechanics for that aren't completely in game. So what are we going to do? So I have a couple ideas about what I might want to do. First, though, I was wearing this big-ass backpack while I was doing run around grabbing packages, because there's storage in the backpack and there's storage in the legs. If we look at our internal storage, you'll see we had 52k SCU in the backpack and 10k SCU in the legs. All right, now I'm going to change my outfit, and you can see there we go. There's we've got over 1 million credits. So I'm going to change my equipment to just like a regular spacesuit. Okay, so let's go with the undersuit. Odyssey undersuit is fine. Armor. Okay, so there we go. We got like a regular looking spacesuit on. We got my Moby glass. Let's get our med pins put in. Now, there's a note under the notes for this. It says, being arrested with both utility slots occupied causes the player to respawn in prison with a broken multi-tool. So I'm not going to equip both of my slots here for that very reason. I'm just going to put a knife into one of those slots. And if we look at weapons, what do I want for my primary weapon? Put the Boneyard SMG there with no attachments on it for now. We got an Arclight pistol, so we're Boneyard and Arclight. Arc light for mag 1. Arc light for mag 2. See, I don't see any boneyard. So maybe we'll go up here and we'll change it from that. P8SC SMG. And then we'll go down here to magazines and pick our P8 SMG magazines. Or we go P8 SMG magazines. Okay, we got our armor, we got our utility, we got our tech stuff on. Undersuit. Okay. So the important thing is when you make changes like this, always remember to hit your Save Changes button, or else you won't have any of that stuff left. Okay. So look at our contracts. What kind of contracts are available to us now? Local delivery missions. I don't like these. They're only 8,000 credits, and you got to like do 3 different things. It can be good if you want a mission marker to go somewhere to like buy or sell something there. You can get a mission marker if you don't know the way by accepting another mission that has that on there. Mercenary, remove claim jumpers. These illegal monitors detected. You go out and you blow up markers. Illegal occupants. You have to go to, you got to go to a facility and go inside and kill people that are inside. That one's really good if you have something with a respawn, like a Cutlass Red or a Carrick or a 890 jump or something. So if you get killed during the attack, you can respawn back in your ship and you can run back in again. It's also good for farming guns. Boarding action in process. That's one that you can solo, but it's better. Now, call to arms, always accept call to arms. I untrack it to keep my HUD clean. But that way, if somebody jumps you or somebody tries to attack you, you can get paid for killing a bad guy. Bounty hunter. You pay now. You pay to get your certification to be able to hunt bounties. And then we got investigation, investigate somebody missing down in a cave or whatever. Of course, there's the personal missions, deliver some stuff, right? You can get crime stats for this. Cleaning the competition, lights out, blah, blah, blah. What I think I might want to do is try to do some asteroid mining, though. So what I want to do is I want to move my base of operations from here on Microtech, where we were collecting and selling presents. I want to go up to the space station that's just in orbit above Microtech. See, we're over here at Microtech. So I want to go to Port Tressler, and then I want to get my mining ship out, and there's a bunch of asteroids we can mine right here. So I want to try doing asteroid mining. Now I have to remember that there's a problem with the elevators at Crew L1 and Crew L5. So don't go here, but Yeah, these other ones. So what I may do is I may go from the space station and fly to Arc L4, and then actually that probably makes more sense. Is go to Arc L4, and then from Arc L4 get my mining ship out. All right, either Arc L4 or Crew L3 look like they're pretty close to this belt. Arc L4, Crew L3. So anyway, let's do that. Let's get to our spaceport and start our fun for today. Okay, so there's the train. We're going to take that across the frozen lake to the spaceport. Put frosty, snowy, cold Microtech behind us. Trade it for the black coldness of space. Although the interesting thing is, while it's cold in space, vacuum is a very poor transmitter of cold. So unlike like here where it can feel cold, space won't necessarily, like it doesn't necessarily make everything cold. Interesting how that works. And of course this game is like most sci-fi. There's sound in space. Now they use some fancy talk to indicate that the reason there's sound in space is they recreated or something, so it seems normal, but whatever. No, this guy's blocking me. What are you doing, buddy? You're in my way. You see I'm walking here? Okay, you come down here, you can see Spaceport is to the left, Commons is to the right. Oh, let's run. Oh! We just missed it. And if you don't back up in time, what you saw happen to me will happen to you. If you're too close to the train, then you could be killed by it. Okay, let's check our stuff. What looks like my knife. Where's my pistol? There's my pistol. Looks like everything there is fine. Let's see if the contract is accepted still. Yeah, that's accepted. Good, wonderful. And okay, and okay, so that's great. We'll just try that again. I'll leave the server chat on up here on the left. If there's anybody complaining about stuff on the server, we'll see them bitching and complaining about griefers or anything like that. Usually I don't like to, usually it's a distraction and I don't typically watch the server chat. I got that cut off, but before I go to start to do something, I can see. You could also pull up a list and see all the names of the people on the server. See if maybe there was a bunch of people from a particular org. Let's do that really quick. I don't think you ought to, I don't think you really ought to be able to do this. But, so we're 50 out of 53. So far, I don't recognize any King of the Cuck. That's an interesting one. I don't recognize any of those names as people I like or don't like or should watch out for. So let's just try this again.
capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers. The capsule will be...
Wonderful. I thought the doors weren't going to open it for a second.
Careful, doors are now closing.
We check beacon, see if anybody on the server has put in a beacon. No. So. I also don't know if my controls map, if my joystick mapping is messed up or not. So this will be a chance to figure that out. Because it's been a while. It's been before 3.12 when I last flew. Now I checked to make sure my profiles were loaded, but they could be reversed. My sticks could be reversed. So getting in a spaceship this first time will be a chance for something to go wrong.
Nearing next stop.
Okay, we're up here in the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport.
Ready to upgrade? Located in the plaza, the factory line has all of Picos' latest offerings.
Ship rental stuff. So we'll go over here to the hangars. We'll claim a ship.
From all of us at Microtech,
Yeah.
welcome to the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport.
Stored. They're all showing the status of stored. Which should be right, because I don't think I've had anything.
Empire's leader in cutting-edge technology.
I don't think I've had anything out.
Innovation meets innovative creativity. Remember,
I don't think I've flown this Origin 100I.
Watch on all personal items.
I don't think I've flown that ship yet. So I'm going to take it out.
From the best in shopping, dining, and entertainment, be sure to visit New Babbage's renowned
Hangar 4. Okay. One of the things I learned from watching another streamer is, if you get into a ship, always let the shields come up to full strength before opening the hangar doors. And where that is important is especially somewhere like Grimhex, where there's people that will sit there and will lob torpedoes and stuff at you as soon as the hangar doors open. So even though it's not really an issue here, if you start the habit of doing it everywhere, then it'll make sure you do it out of habit the time when you really needed to have done it. So this is a new origin ship, and again, I think this showed up. Okay, so there's like a little storage space there, maybe, or something. I don't know if that's a component thing or what. I clearly don't know how to get into this ship. It's hard to see the green letters on the white background. Nice. It's kind of cramped in here. Close exterior. There we go. Now we want to make sure nobody snuck on the ship with us, and this is even more important. You click on the ship channel and you look over here, or you look up here, and to see if there's anybody else on there. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now there we go. And notice I'm going to let my shields come up. I'm also, in real life, pulling my joysticks from where I store them. Up onto the desk. Now we'll call. Say, hey, yo, open the doors.
You are clear to launch.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so I just hit the button on my left joystick that's bound to the jump drive, and the jump drive came up. So that makes me think my joysticks are still mapped correctly. Let's take off a little bit. Oh, this is nice.
Thank you, and please visit again.
So that's Port Tressler. Which is the space station that's above Microtech. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm watching that top right-hand corner. I'm aimed not directly where I'm going to run into the station. That's an important thing. I'm aimed to the side of the station, but I want to get into the protective Armistice Zone of the space station. Okay, so I just let off my throttle. I'm coasting down now. Okay, so there we go. And now at this point, we're over here at Microtech. Right, we're at Port Tressler's where we are right here. I want to go to the space station that's close to that asteroid belt. And we said there was it Arc L4 is over here? Her L4 was a little bit closer. Is that one of the broken ones? No, it doesn't appear to be. It's 299 fuel. That's 340 fuel. It's a little bit more. Crew L3, is that one of the broken ones? No, it doesn't say broken. Let's go ahead and set we got our route set there. Now what I want to do here is I want to so I'm not close enough to call the space station yet for a landing pad. You're like, yeah, if you're going to the other place, why would you call for a landing pad? And that's to lock in. But you know what? Screw it. Yeah, if I die now, I'll go all the way back down to the planet and spawn again in New Babbage. If I had asked for a landing spot there at the space station, it would have moved my spawn point to the space station. But I decided not to. I don't think it's that big of a risk. We haven't really done anything, so it's not like I care. But that's kind of a trick if you ever, you know, especially if you have something that's a pain in the ass to get out of the atmosphere. It's always good to hit the first space station you come to, set your spawn point there. That way, if something happens, then you know you'll start back there. You don't have to do that over again. The Origin manufacturer is sort of like the BMW of ships. This is a nice little one-person thing. It's got I think a bed inside. It's not as nice as the 300. You know, 100 series is not as nice as the 300. Is not as nice as the 600. Is not as nice as the 890. 300, you know, is above this. So. It's kind of a little bit of a pecking order, sort of like the way BMWs are. So we're definitely going to lock in when we get to Crew L3. We're going to land and then we'll switch to our mining ship. This is a newer ship design, so you can see that the UI inside is a little bit nicer. One of the things you learn when you start flying these ships is how to read the screens, how to look at what the indicators mean. That's how I knew after I had set my waypoint where I wanted to go. I looked down at that center thing and saw where the line was, and that's what I used to turn my ship to the point where the marker then showed up on the screen and I could align to the marker. That's where I was looking. There's also little arrows that show up on the screen that kind of point the way. You can use those too. If you're like a bounty hunter or whatever, you want a ship that's got the fastest jump drive, so you could, figure out where your prey is and get there before they leave. Or if you're trying to chase somebody, maybe you could figure out where they're going and get there before them. For hauling freight, speed maybe isn't as important as efficiency. Like the expedition ships that'll be going on long missions away, trying to find new stuff. It's less about time and it's more about efficiency, right? You don't want to have to turn around and come back because you've got a small fuel tank and a gas guzzling ship. When people say, well, what's the best quantum drive? What's the best shield? What's the best spaceship? It sort of depends on what you want to do. I was doing cargo running. Cargo running works great unless you get disconnected. Right now, if you have a load of cargo and the server crashes or you get disconnected and can't connect back, you essentially lose, most of the time, you lose your stuff. And so filling up something with cargo that you had to pay for is a real loss. If you're mining and you spent time in your ship mining and you've got ore or whatnot in there and then you lose, well, you've lost the investment of your time. You can reclaim your ship, you're out, all of that stuff, but it's not like you had money tied up in that stuff that you lost. So during times when the servers are experiencing 30Ks, or maybe there's a thunderstorm in your area and you're worried about losing your internet connection or whatever, mining right now, mining is not a good choice. When there was a promotion going on where people could get a particular in-game item for 50 kills, people were killing everything they saw. Not a good time for being a miner or a cargo runner if you don't have an escort. So, okay, so we just dropped out, and we're 22 miles. Crew L3 is 70 kilometers straight ahead. So I just put cruise control on. That's that. You'll notice that little arrow, that little caret that's underneath that solid line. That means cruise control is on, and it's really easy to wreck if you forget to take cruise control off. So don't forget to take cruise control off. So if I see a rock, if I start getting close to the space station, I'll reach up, I'll put my hand on the stick, and I'll toggle cruise control off. But many times people have put cruise control on and they're doing something, and then they get close to a planet or they get close to something, and the ship's not slowing down like they think it should, and they don't know why, and boom, they blow up before they figure out the reason is, well, you left cruise control on. So you also notice under the if I look at my HUD on the right, lower right corner, fuel quantum is at 51, hydrogen is at 99. So I used about half of the quantum fuel in this 100 series Origin ship to go from the space station above New Babbage over here to this space station. So this ship pretty much is not one that's going to be able to go all the way across the Stanton system without stopping somewhere for quantum fuel. So again, not necessarily the best for exploring, not necessarily a good one if you were bounty hunting, or if you were, those are things to keep in mind. You can see the comment up there in global chat about the stability of the server. So I'm just basically cutting the warp engine on to get the marking in the HUD and a distance for the space station. I'm too close to warp there. I don't have it in visual range yet, but I want to keep my ship aligned to it, so that's what I was doing there. We get a little bit closer, if there's any ships at the space station, we'll get a contact notification and they'll show up on our scope. I'm not sure what size. This is a small ship, so it may only show ships out to like 5,000 or 6,000 meters. We'll see. You can see I've got my I've got 2 Strike Force 2 missiles, 48 decoys. I'm in the G-safe mode coupled with ESP. So those are all like they're like traction control and anti-lock braking in cars. Those are things designed to keep you from getting into trouble. Let's check our distance again. Okay, so we're getting close to crew L3, so I'm going to make sure. And I'm going to take it off of cruise control. There's the space station right there. So I'm off of cruise control. I'm flying it by hand again. Not a big deal. I'll slow down to 3/4. Okay, so once again, I've picked the mystery. Okay, so the patch notes didn't say. The patch notes didn't say it. But Crew L3 doesn't exist. This was a problem from a previous patch. So I should have known better. But you'd think they would have updated the patch notes. Oh no. No, why would we do that? Why would we do that? Arc L4. We got enough fuel to get to Arc L4. Is that where we want to go? I mean, that's not the closest to the ring. But that'll do. Let's go to Arc L4. Set route, Arc L4. Before I leave though, okay, hold on a second. Let me turn this around. So look at that round thing in the bottom, and you see the line is pointing back this way, so I can turn around. There's that blue triangle that's pointing the way. There's Arc L4. Make a big ass note off screen on my little notes that says CRUL3 not in game. This catches me every time. I should remember it, but what can I tell you? And I had it written on a piece of paper down here, but I thought, since it wasn't in the patch notes, you know, that they would include that. But that's rule number one of Star Citizen: don't overthink it. It's an alpha game with a S-ton of bugs, and if you get too serious about it, you're going to be disappointed and mad, frustrated. So don't overthink it. Crew L3 not in game. Elevators broken at Crew L1 and Crew L5, and Area 18 admin office kiosk bug. And there's a couple places that the hidden terminals are missing, so they added some down on the planet. So you got to read the patch notes. Never assume anything. Never assume anything. But I did figure out my joysticks and my key mapping and everything didn't get messed up. So far, that's looking fun. That's a good thing. If you were watching, I actually went past where the space station should be. That's how I figured out, you know, for sure it wasn't there. I should have been able to see it.
Quantum drive
now we put on the left us 70 miles away. Cruise control on. So what'll happen is you'll get, you know, close to the station and you'll start to see blinking lights. You'll see other ships show up on your radar. I mean, in my opinion, if something's not in the game, they should remove that off of the Navi map, so you can't even set it as a point. It's the way I feel about it. Or give you, or don't leave it on the map, but give you an error saying it's not there. You know, they should do something. It's just that, you know, they get these BS things like Nerf guns added to the game that shoot little Nerf darts, you know. But they, you know, they have missing space stations. That just makes me shake my head. I'll do a small course correction here. Yes, missing space stations. Because it's an alpha game. And, you know, alpha's going to alpha. I had it, like I said, I had written it on a piece of paper here on my desk. It was on the other side, though. I was thinking maybe it was fixed for this patch. Because it wasn't in the... I read the patch notes for the latest patch. And it didn't say anything about it. So evidently they only list the things that are broken in that patch. You're supposed to know the things, the long list of things, you know, that have been broken for who knows how long. Stupid me. Stupid me. I should know better. I've spent more money on this game than a person should, so I should remember all of that. How much did you spend? Way too much. Way too much. But honestly, this is really the only game I'm interested in playing. So, you know, I'll play this game. And the universe is big enough and the things you can do in it are so varied that I don't see myself ever getting tired of this game. You know, it's a love-hate relationship, right? I love to complain about the things that are wrong. And I would hate it if this game, you know, went away. What is way too much? For somebody who's never played this game before, spending $100 is too much. You should start with a $40 package. The cheapest entry package you can get is $40 US. And the reason I say that is because if you don't like the game, then you're only out the $40 that you used to back its development. But if you really like it, you can always upgrade that package, right? So I mean, it's kind of cool in that aspect, is that, you know, you're not getting your money's back. You're not getting your money back, but you're not locked in. So yes, for somebody who doesn't have this game, spending $100 I think is too much. Start with one of the lower packages. Plus, you can buy almost everything you can buy with the credits that you earn in game. So, you know, start out low. If you want a ship like this 100i or like the mining ship that I'm going to pull out, you know, you could buy that with credits you earn in game. So you don't have to spend money for that either. The only real reason to spend money is if you think the game is really cool and you want to back it and you want to make sure that they are able to continue to develop it and Squadron 42, the single player game, and to make sure they come out. So those are your two reasons. But yeah, I've spent way more than $100. So, and a lot of people have. But you know, it's not. You know, all that means is I wanted to back the game developer, and they're self-publishing. And when the game releases, it will be a little bit of a head start. It'll probably be depending upon what you're talking about, for a nicer ship, you could get a nicer ship if you grinded for 2 or 3 days. For a really, really nicer, bigger ship, it might take a month of grinding to get enough money. But if you group up with people in an org, an org could probably get a nicer ship in about a week of gameplay. Some of the really high-end ships, would take a considerable amount of time. So there are going to be people on day one when it releases. Okay, so I might have flown past the space station. Okay, so let's go back to the star map. We're going to what? Arc L4, right? Okay. So there I am. I'm pretty close to where it says Arc L4 is. Okay, so Arc L4 is 15 kilometers this way. And I'll keep this screen up so I don't run past it again. Yeah, you can buy nearly almost everything in game with game money or with real money. There's a couple limited edition ships that there's a couple limited edition ships that are not available. Have I found another space station that doesn't exist here? Lightning may have struck me twice. It's looking like it, because normally you would see the space station from this close. Well, one of the limited spaceships was Intel promotion. You had to buy Intel Optane SSD, and then you got a code in the box that gave you the Saber Raven. And I did that, so I've got one of the Saber Ravens. The other one was an AMD promotion, which worked similarly. So those two, because they were promotions with companies, they aren't sold. And then there's some really high-end. Okay, so I think that's exactly what's happened here. Is there is there's another space there. There we go, right here. Boom. See, I just flew past it. Yeah. So So yeah, there was some limited hull ships, you know, where they only sell so many of them, and those typically you had to buy with real world money, and you had to be fast because they would sell out. It's kind of an artificial demand type of thing. So there's some of those. I bought one of those, and so anyway, I have discovered the other place, Arc L4. Let me write that on my piece of paper. Let me write that on in my computer note here. Arc L4, not in game. Okay, great, wonderful. This is great for my gameplay. And what you'll notice is my ship only has a limited amount of fuel left in it because I've burned up my fuel going to these things that aren't in the game. Right, Crew L3 is not in the game. We verified that. Arc L1, if I set my route, you can see, I don't have enough fuel. It's going to take 270, and I've only got 263 to go there. If I go to her 5, that's another one that's out of range. Don't have enough fuel to go there. If I go to her 2, I can make it to that one. But I wanted to do mining here in this asteroid belt. And you see I don't have enough there. If I go to this one, or L4, I can make it there. And then I guess I could go over from there. I could go to this one. So those really are probably my two choices. I go here, go to these that are right here around Hurston, or go to her L4. I'm going to try her L4. So we'll set the route. Boom, set route. And see where the line is pointing, so I can flip this around. And let's change the camera view so we can see ourselves. Over to this one. Love the graphics on this game. Yeah, Arc L4 doesn't seem to be in game. We were just there and it wasn't there. And yes, I can get fuel there if the refueling option isn't broken. That is correct. I've got about 30 ships. If you count the ground vehicles, I've got about 30 ships right now. And, you know, like everybody else, I keep saying, I'm not going to buy any more. I'm not going to buy any more. I'm not going to spend any more money. And then something comes out and you're like, oh man, that looks pretty cool. So this has been kind of a little bit of an exercise in mapping out the space stations that aren't in game. Again, I probably should have kept better notes, but I've got a note on my computer, so I'm putting these in. So I won't do this again. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting in chat. I do like flying my spaceships around. I do like mining and doing the other stuff. I enjoy it. So once the quantum drive screen, once we drop out of quantum, look at my fuel stuff, and you'll see that the hydrogen fuel will still be a high number, but the quantum fuel will be very low. And I might get a warning that says, a warning might pop up here pretty soon, saying I've got low quantum fuel as well. No, I didn't. I haven't bought any ships in the game yet. I've paid real world money for the ships that I have. I got a friend of mine who I talked into getting the game, and he's got to upgrade he's got to get an IBM or a PC compatible system. He uses a Mac, so he's gonna buy a laptop that'll run the game, and then once he does that, then I'll get him in and start doing some multiplayer missions with him. And I told him, I said, you don't need to spend anything. I've got plenty of ships. You know, I can loan you ships. We can do stuff in game. So, how much is a normal ship? Well, you know, I'd say probably the average price on ships is somewhere between like $100 and $200. The starter ships are more affordable. 40, 50, 60, 70. The ground vehicles are usually pretty cheap. There we go. Now, when you come out of warp, always start moving, because there'll be people that'll be waiting there to shoot you. So you always want to start moving. And you notice now I've got my ship up to the line, the little red dash. That's where your ship is going to be optimal, the fastest it can go without having problems from going faster. I moved my aim point off of the space station, so if I can't get slowed down in time, I won't run into the space station. If you look over in the bottom right-hand side, you see under fuel, hydrogen 99, that's looking great. Barely used any of that. Quantum fuel 5. So, like I said, that's where we've used a bunch of our quantum fuel out. Yeah, Brandon, Chad, I've spent a good amount of money on the game. And then I'm not the only one. There's people that spend a whole lot more than me. But again, this is really the only game I want to play. Now, I will say I saw some streamers that are playing Rust, and they've added some stuff into Rust. And so when I watch the streamers on the streamer server and they're cooperating and they're building this great big community with cool stuff in it, it makes me want to play Rust again. But the reality is, if I started to play Rust, I would spawn in on the beach and I would be naked with a rock, and there would be some guy who's been playing it for longer that was sitting there with the sniper rifle to just kill me right away. So what you see in your game experience is going to be pretty different. But I tend to like open sandbox world kind of stuff. Grand Theft Auto 5 was something I played a lot because you could kind of go and do different things if you wanted. And when I was watching the streamers play on No Pixel, I mean, that seems like a whole bunch of fun. But the reality is your experience in game isn't going to be what you see the streamers doing. The streamers have usually got, you know, mics that work and they know how to role play, and you know, it's not the chaos that you typically find. I'm hoping that Star Citizen's universe will be big enough when they get the servers all meshed together that the chances of you know, running into disagreeable people will be a lot less. Right now, though, there's only like 50 people on a server. So if you happen to land on a server where a whole bunch of a pirate org is active, your chances of getting pirated are pretty good. The bounty hunters, they will hop from server to server. If they want a bounty hunt and there's nobody on a server that has a bounty, in order for them to do that game loop, well, then they need to move to a different server to find it. So here we go. Here's our space station, and you may notice if you've been watching this game for a while, the space stations have a bunch of extra stuff hooked onto them now. They've added refining areas and docks and some other things. But again, I'm flying as fast as I safely can, and I'm aimed off to the side of the space station so I don't run into it. Very good thing to know. Up in the right hand corner of the screen, I'll get a notification when we get into the Armistice Zone, which means weapons can't be used, which means you're a little bit safer than where I am right now. So my goal is when I drop out of Quantum to make a beeline. There it goes. It just the comm link came up. So that means I could communicate to the station, and then pretty soon there'll be a bullet with a slash through it. That means I'm in Armistice. So I got to get a little bit closer. I'll get a message that tells me I can contact ATC for a landing pad, and then I'll stop flying for a second, and I'll bring up comms, and I'll call for a landing pad, and then we'll go land and we'll do our refuel and all of that stuff here at the space station. There's a marker. There's something. Could be one of the turrets at the station. Has come up as a marker. It's in blue. If it was in red, I'd be concerned because that would be somebody who's hostile. But it's not. And this may be one of the stations that does not have an Armistice Zone. Okay, there we go. Please contact ATC to land. It just came up. So I'm going to do that really quickly. Oh, there we go. There's the bullet and the slash too. Just showed up. So we go here. We go to comms. We are under friends. HL4 Melodic Field Station.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Okay, and there we go. Now we got, it didn't show up down here. Those are where the bigger hangars are, but the small ones are up here at the top, and you see there's a little circle with the down arrow that showed up. So before I can land, I'll put down my landing gear. I'll do that when I get a little bit closer. I'm not going to come in here at full speed to keep from running into stuff. Now usually as soon as you get permission to land, your respawn point has already reset to this station. You don't actually have to touch down, but I'm planning on touching down. Okay, so it looks like the pad is on the other side, so we need to do this. We need to go up a little bit. I do like flying with dual joysticks. Let me put my landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Now, once you're in that box, you could hit the end key for auto land if you wanted. The other thing is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're going to hit and do over here for fuel, and you see to refuel and repair. We can do all of that. Let's see if our quantum number, there it goes, our quantum number is going up. So we just landed. We're going to go ahead and cut our...
Have a pleasant stay.
Trying to see where our engine controls are. Now I'm not going to cut power off. I'm looking for engine off. You leave your power on in case somebody tries to ram you. There we go. Cut our engine off. You leave your power on so your shields stay up. So if anybody decides they want to not sure what that was all about. I think I hit the wrong keybind. I had to hold it down for a second. There we go. Yeah. So this is the 100. Looks like there's just a psychiatrist's bench back here. Very, not a lot to, and there's our little cargo bay back there. Again, I don't think I've flown the 100 before. It's a nice little cool ship. Costs more than your basic starter ship. So here we are. We're at the space station. We refueled our ship, and I was kind of surprised. It seemed like it was only one credit for quantum refuel, and I used almost all the quantum fuel out. So that's, you know, that's pretty cheap, if that was right. It looks like we landed on pad 6. Now what I'm going to do is I want to go into the space station, and I want to get a mining ship out and go mine some asteroids. But since I've been playing for an hour and 15 minutes, I also want to get up, walk over to my coffee machine, start another cup of coffee making, stretch my legs a little bit too. So just gonna give you a heads up if you want to keep watching the stream, but maybe you got something to do. It's probably going to be 5 minutes before I get into the mining ship and go out to mine. So a heads up. So yeah, this patch has got the new UI for the elevators, which is an improvement over the way that it used to be. Also, when you get on the space station, they've made it so that you can go. You know, you've got the choices of pads, hangars, refining deck, and other stuff. Now, here's the thing: if you see somebody, you can go up to them and you can hit the F key. And I did not get a prompt to invite to party or add as friend, so that tells me that's an NPC. That's not a real. It's not a real person. That's an NPC there. Here's our vehicle retrieval console. That's where I'm going to get my mining ship out. So let me do this. I'm going to put this guy where you guys can watch if you want things going on. I'm going to go stretch my legs. I'm going to go to the coffee machine. I'm going to start another cup of coffee, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright. Very nice. I had to check the front door. I've got a UPS package delivering today, but you can never tell when they're going to be here. I was watching the map earlier, and they hadn't even left their distribution hub. So again, like, is this a person? No, that's not a person. These are the elevators you take. For instance, if you wanted to do, if you wanted to go to the refining deck or wherever, you get on these, and we're in hangars and habs. I guess Galleria is the stores. So this is a little bit of a change that happened, yeah. Used to you'd have to kind of know the layouts of the individual stations, and you'd run down the hallways, and then you'd find the food places, and you'd find the other the bar and the other stuff. Here they've made it a little bit easier. You take the elevator. Oh, that guy's clearly had too much to drink. Right? These guys have gotten hammered.
What can I tell you for? If you're out drinking, I'm not making a living.
Yeah, the Space Pizza Hut.
What can I get you?
Exactly. This guy's standing over in the corner. Man, love your outfit. Looks great. So I just pressed a button on my mouse, there's two chats. If you look up in the top left-hand corner, see Prox. Now that's saying I'm talking. And then there's another chat that talks to people in your channel. So what I've done is I've got my mic mapped, Prox comms to one button on my mouse. And oh, these are holographic pizza slices. That's pretty cool. But wouldn't one side of it should be crust and one side should be toppings. But that looks like it's got toppings on both sides. So is that like Space Zero G pizza? Yes. So the answer. So yes, you can talk to other people in game using voice over IP. Some patches it works. Sometimes the servers get funky and it doesn't work too well. But yes, they're working on making it work solid. So you don't have to, when the game's released, you won't have to use TeamSpeak or Discord or Mumble or any of those other alternative things. Now, a lot of people still use that because those work reliably. But in game, yeah, you'll be able to talk to, when we go to comms, global chat, which I am not connected to because you don't want to hear everybody, all 50 people on the server. If there were...
Sorry. You exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to return your ship to storage.
It's not a problem that they're storing my ship. But you see over here,
Ship storage procedure. For your safety, please make any
you know,
error.
these are all the people on
Thank
the
you for your
server.
cooperation.
The same way this guy opened up a little comm to me, I could click on one of these people and I could click,
Initiating ship storage procedure.
you know, this button and talk to him directly.
Thank you.
Although a lot of people, honestly, they have it cut off or they don't even have a mic hooked up. If you've got friends playing, all the people that I'm friends with, none of them are online right now. So I can't talk to anybody but the space station. If I was inside of a ship, there would be another channel down here that would have my ship name, and then I could talk to people in my ship. And if I was playing in a party, or somebody had started a party, then there would be a channel that you could connect to, and you could talk to everybody there. So they do have that stuff, and sometimes it works, and sometimes right now it doesn't work. But I just go ahead and bind a key anyway. And there's shops like this where you could buy guns for your ships.
Hi, welcome to the store.
Oh, hey. There's two ways to buy stuff. You can go to a kiosk. And when it shows up, you could scroll through all the things the store sells. And then you pick the thing that you want to buy and buy it. This isn't loading in right now, no big deal. Or you could look at something and then press the button and say, "Oh, I want to buy that too." So if I wanted to buy Gatling guns, 7,850, and it sort of, you have to kind of know in your ships. Like if I go to my vehicle loadout manager, we could look at that ship that we were just in, the Origin 100I. Right, and it shows, oh, these are the kind of missiles you have. But if we go to weaponry, it has a size 3 gimbal mount on the left and the right. And because they're gimbaled, then that means the size of the weapon is going to be like a size 2. It's one less than the gimbal. If you have fixed weapons, then they would be a size 3 on this ship. Right? Actually, this says size 3 down here, so maybe I'm wrong. No, there. Hold on a second. Size 2, M4A cannon, size 2. Right. So if I wanted to put a different gun on that ship, I would need to look for size 2. So like now I've got a Badger repeater on one side of the ship and a M4A cannon on the other, right? And then you would save changes and equip. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to save changes, so I'm going to click exit. But yeah, so you can buy, you can upgrade guns, you can buy different guns for your ship with the in-game credits you earn. So that's an example of the gun store. And you kind of have to remember which space stations and which planets have which kind of stores and what things they sell. If you get any fines or citations in game, there's these kiosks. You can give your money to the government for any kind of infractions. I haven't got any infractions, but you know, occasionally you'll get a fine or something, and that's how you pay. If you do mission cargo box delivery missions, you may have to go somewhere and pick up a package or drop off a package from the Kovalex machine. In the future, I think you're going to have you deal with the NPC behind the counter, but right now there's a machine for that. And if we had any thing to buy or to sell, there's trading consoles. So different ships that you have different cargo capacities. So right now my my MISC, I see freelancer. Do I not have a mold? Did I upgrade that ship and no longer have a, not a mold, but a what is that damn mining ship called? I'll think of it in a second. Man, we don't have anything to sell. Prospector, that was what I'm thinking. Do I not have a prospector anymore? Because that's what I was planning on going out and mining with. That could be a slight problem. Oh, there's another store over here. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah, this is the like the PvP weapons. All right, so these are the various guns that you can buy.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
Right, you can buy the stabilizer, holographic sights, various guns. Again, an easy thing to do is once you've got a gun, is take a mission. Take a mission to one of those bunkers, and when you kill or the 890 jump rescue mission, and when you kill the bad guys, you can go back later on and gather up the guns they had. So you can get free guns by taking them off of other players or bad guys when you kill them. If it's a real other player, you have to be quick, because if they have a gun in their holster, that'll despawn with them pretty quickly. If they had a gun in their hand, it drops, and it'll hang around for a while. Med pins here are out of stock. Whenever you go somewhere you can buy med pins, it's always good to buy med pins, because if you get hurt, you do this little stab yourself with the med pin, and it restores your life. That guy's doing the
Hi, good to have you
the
back.
leg lifts. He's like doing leg lifts. The other way you could buy those med pins is you could just come straight up here to the box.
We just got a few new items in, so make sure to check them out.
You could come up here and do a quick buy. Is there anything else up here? Not really. Rest and relax. So sometimes you go to a space station, and over in the locker room there'll be a hidden terminal where you can sell contraband, right? So sometimes there's a place, you know, an alternate place to go to sell contraband. And these are like space truck stops, if you think about it. It's about average in size for stations. Here's a clothing store, right? So if you wanted to buy, you know, casual clothing, you get clothing in here. There's not, if you needed something to drink.
Hi, welcome to the store.
You could buy something to water here if your hydration is getting low. Juice bar here. This has got food. And it's got drink. So.
What?
Variety of things. Every now and then you have to eat and drink. I'm not getting any kind of alerts on my screen, so I'm not worried about. You were in there already. I'm not worried about it. I want to go and see if I have a prospector, though. That's what. That's going to be a real problem if I don't have a prospector. We were on Galleria, Hangars and Habs, where we just came in. I got some upgrades, and I may have upgraded my prospector, but I thought I had at least one ship. Here's where if I were to exit the game and then I was to wake up, if I was to wake up on this space station,
Hi. Welcome to the
I would
store.
wake up in the habitation units, and then I would take the elevator down here. So let's go see if I have a prospector, because I thought I had one of those. And what I was going to do next depends on having one of those. So my ship was stored, or if I had just landed and wanted to get a different ship out. So the question of what ships do I have? These that you see here are ships someone has either bought with real world money, has bought in-game with in-game money, or has rented in-game. If they were rented in-game, you would see a timer to let you know how much longer that was available to you. So MISC Freelancer. Okay, here's my prospector. Boom. Let's retrieve the prospector. And it's now on pad 2. Great. So let's go to pad 2 and get in our prospector. Hangars and pads. Now, if you forget, your ship marker now says which pad or which hangar it's in, right? Because sometimes people would spawn a ship and they'd be distracted, and ADD kicks in, and you don't know where it is, and you have to run back to the screen to look. They upgraded it, I think, with 311 or 312, where now your pad or hangar info shows up. Usually it's there. Sometimes it's missing, but usually it's there now. All $200? No, not all $200. Some were less and some were more. And there's packages too. Once you've spent $1,000 on this game, you become what's called a concierge backer. Once you've passed $1,000 spent, then you see all these packages that have collections of ships and cost a bunch of money. So you might say, well, I don't see that on the website. Well, they're kind of selective who they show that to. I am not recommending anyone start off by buying an expensive package. $40 is more than enough. Now, I do have a code that if you use my code when you create your account, see the prospector's got a bed in it. There's some modules in here, right? But it's really only a single person ship. There's only like a single seat. But if you use my referral code, when you create your account and you buy a game package, you'll get 5,000 in-game credits free, which, you know, would be enough to maybe buy a couple guns buy another spacesuit, you know, some things like that. And I should paste that into the chat at some point. So here we are. We're inside of the Prospector. We're sitting on the pad. And it's going to give me a limited amount of time before it'll reclaim my ship. So I want to go ahead and take off. Notice my engines are pointing down for VTOL. So I'm going to use the comms. I'm going to call the space station. I'm going to say, yo, I'm leaving.
You are clear to launch.
Clear to launch. Let me grab my other stick. Okay. So a little bit of thrust up. I'm going to move off the end. Right, because it'll tell you, oh, you're blocking the landing pad. So there's where we were. We were over there.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Now if you look here, my landing gear are down. So I can press the key that's bound to the landing gear, put up my landing gear. My engines on this ship is one of the ships that has engines that rotate, like for vertical takeoff and landing. So there's a key bind that I remembered to that. So now I've rotated my engines around. So if we look, this is a mining ship. It's got bags for storing the ore that you gather. It's got this laser beam thing on the front that heats up and breaks up rocks, and then you switch modes and it kind of sucks up all the rocks into the bags. This is not a well-armored or well-defended ship. So if you go out to mine in a prospector by yourself, you're taking a big risk because somebody could very easily decide they want to shoot you, and you're pretty much defensive in nature, and you're probably going to blow up. It's good to have somebody playing with you that maybe comes along in a fighter or some other kind of support ship. When you're mining with the Prospector, you're typically looking forward, so somebody could sneak up on you from behind. You're pinging your radar, which is making you easy to spot. So all of those are issues when mining. But what I want to do now is I want to get up and I want to go grab my coffee off of my coffee machine. So give me just a second. I'll go grab that. Okay, I got my coffee. So let's fire up our quantum engine, and where I want to go is into this asteroid belt that exists right here. We're here at HER 4, so I want to get out to this. This is where I want to go. So if I set that as my destination, what I want to do is I want to start the jump, and then I'm going to cut my engines, right? And I'm going to try to end up, by doing that, starting to warp, cut engines, see where I am, and see if I can't get close to this. I suppose the other thing I could do would be to go somewhere like this, that's sort of close. But let's try this first. Let's see how well I can time it and do that. Okay. So let's find the marker that we want. And I believe I is the key that cuts your engines. Okay. So my engine's off. And we didn't move much at all, which is not a problem. Again, didn't move very much at all. I'm going to try doing that again. Cut the engines back on. Okay. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Didn't really move much at all. So again, the lowest risk is mining these asteroid belts because you're not near other people. There's so much space, and so that's one of the reasons I wanted to try this, is to see how practical this was. Okay. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. You know, it's really not showing that we've moved very far at all. Just getting a feel for it. Hopefully this isn't boring you to tears. Yeah, but there's going to be some lag and it's going to take time to slow down. So that I've got to cut them off before I get to the asteroids, and that's just what I'm trying to figure out here. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm trying to do, because you can't, to try to fly with, like your regular engines would take too long. And there's no marker that we can quantum travel right to the asteroid belt. So this is a guess and go. Okay. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008. 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Okay, so it's definitely going to be longer than I'm going to feel comfortable counting out. So we're going to try a different strategy. We're going to go and we're going to watch that map, and then I'll cut it off when it looks close. Okay, a little bit different approach. So now we're going to watch this map, and you see that asteroid belt. It's over there about 3 o'clock, about a third of the way to Microtech. I'm looking at that green line, and it should be getting shorter, and when it gets like it's right here now, but when that green line gets somewhere about here, I'm going to kill the engines and see how far we go after I kill the engines for science. I just pressed the I was watching the map and I pressed I, and it looked like it didn't take. So that shows me in between this band. So let's do this. Let's look. Let's cut our engines back on. And then we'll take our scanner and scan for monables. We don't see anything. Oh, wait a minute. There was a box over here. There's the rock right there. Look at that. There's some sort of monable right there. And I'm going beside it. I don't want to run into it. We hit M. Go into mining mode. Now you see there, it's telling us it's got corundum, gold, you know, but it's 66% inert and 30% corundum. I don't know that that's a valuable thing to mine. Do you know? I don't have a list in front of me of what the valuable stuff is, but you know what? Because I'm not going to stream forever in one session, I want to go ahead and do some mining. So let's figuring out my controls here. Okay, I had to change to my mouse so I could so I can back off if it gets too hot. I'm looking at the charge level. I want to get that up into the green. I'm running at 100%, which is dangerous. I'm backing off, keeping it in the green zone. Okay, so that one's got 3% gold. This one's got... That one's a better rock for corundum. That one's 100% nothing. All right, Brandon Chat, thanks for visiting. I'm usually on earlier in the morning, East Coast time, but take the borax. The borax. Okay, I will. I'll keep that in mind. So yeah, I'll see you later, man. Let's see what this one is. Yep.
Scan initiated. Scan complete.
That one's still got to be broken up.
Scan initiated. Scan complete. Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
I'm almost full.
Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode on. Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
90%
Scan
inert.
complete. Scan initiated.
100% inert.
Scan complete. Scan initiated. Scan complete. Scan initiated. Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode on. Scan complete.
Yeah, there we are. We're full. Okay, where in the world, where are refining docks? Where are the refining docks? We were at Hurl L4 and I don't remember seeing refining dock there. Start at Hurl L1 and just work our way forward. It's obstructed, okay. why it's obstructed. But it says it's obstructed. We'll go to hurl L2. Lonely space miner. And my prospector full of ore. Some of your mom's dirty ore. Your mom's a dirty ore. Exactly. The nav screen whips around like crazy. That's weird. I think this is the first time I've used my prospector in a while, and this is a loaner. I upgraded a prospector to something, but I had another ship that gives a prospector as a loaner, so I'll have a prospector to use until that ship's in game. I remember when I was first doing the mining with the prospector, it was okay, but it was frustrating. You'd hop out of the prospector and couldn't get back in sometimes. You'd get blowed up by people a lot. I need to do some rock mining too. I haven't done any rock mining. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But also, if I'm able to drop this off and get it refined, then I may have cargo to haul. I don't know. This is all new. This is new gameplay for me, so it's not as easy. It's not the easy, quick money I was getting with the Luminalia gifts. And of course, I'm not good at this. People that are good at this can go do this a lot quicker, make a lot more money per hour. But hey, what can I say? cruise control on. Don't forget to cut it off. Sometimes it drops you off a little bit far away. Should have checked that earlier, but you're still busy taking the sights in. I'm gonna pull it off for cruise control just to be safe. Those look like refining outriggers, so that's good. Let's get into safe area, please. Hours and 16 minutes. Wow, what a mega stream today. Now, normally I like to stream about an hour. We had a little bit of difficulties at the beginning. We had a little bit of difficulties in the middle. So, I was encouraged to go. And we had somebody watching. Brandon Chat was watching. So, I was encouraged to go a little bit longer. Okay, we don't have cruise control on. We're in the Armistice. We got ATC there. Let's go ahead and contact ATC about a landing spot.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Okay. Where is our assigned landing bay? There it is there. Before we forget, let's put our gear down. I don't think in space, I don't think it's as big of a deal to rotate your engines. I really don't.
landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Where's my engine control? Engine's off. Very good. Engines are off. I'm putting joysticks away. Very good. Prepare, refuel. 12, 13, 20, 35. We're at Hurl L2. Landed our Prospector. Go to the lobby. It was interesting. Hydrogen said 0. I think that was just a bug. I think Quantum did get refueled. We'll see. I think this is how I get to the mining decks. Just by using this. The refinery, yes. So H, Hurl L2 has a refinery. I have to make sure I capture that in my notes. Hurl L2 has refinery. If I remember correctly, there was something about you lose everything other than the thing you pick. So maybe I have to pick the ore that's going to give me the most money and it's going to lose the other stuff. I don't know. I haven't done this before. I remember reading that somewhere. Oh, that's pretty cool. Refinery. Elevators. Oh, that's the same. That's what I just came from. to the service. Go to the service part. Huh? What I do?
Need a hazmat team to head down to the subdeck. We got a chem spill.
Bombing support. Do I go in here?
Hey, back again, I see. Welcome. Feel free to take a look around. We got a pretty good selection.
There's terminals. Are these to buy things, or are these the? That's to buy clothing. Rentals.
Hi, good to have you back.
Guild office.
Finding everything all right?
No, I'm not. I'm not finding everything. I'm trying to find the terminal to do my mining work from.
See anything you like?
Yeah. There it is, processing. So not support center, but up here to refinement processing. Here we go.
Hi, good to have you back.
So for ore sales,
See anything you like?
if I wanted to sell your mom's dirty ore, okay, there we go. Prospector 3833. Corundum is the most valuable. Okay. But if I go to refining, refinement center,
Finding everything all right?
okay, we're going to go with this one. Low speed, moderate cost, high yield. Let's get a quote. It costs 592 alpha UEC, and it'll take 20 hours to refine it. Boom. It's processing.
We're sorry. You exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to return your ship to storage.
Okay. Great. 20 hours, so that would be
Initiating ship storage procedure.
12?
Safety, please vacate the area. Thank you.
12
for
would be
cooperation.
22. So 10 o'clock. Okay. So by 10 o'clock, start tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Very good.
Initiating ship storage procedure. For your safety,
We
please
just got a few
vacate
new
the area.
items in, so
Thank you
make
for
sure
your
to check them out.
cooperation.
Oh, cool. Will do, buddy. So I'm a miner now. And I got a refining job running. That's pretty cool. Well, folks, you know what? I think that's
Need a hazmat team to head down to the subdeck. We've got a chem spill.
I think that's a perfect place to end the stream. Now, what I may do tomorrow, I may get on, I think I'm going to want to get on my normal time, elevator 2. I want to get on my normal time, and that'll be before my stuff is refined. So, I may take out the Prospector again, or may do hangers and halves. May do something else. So I need to make a note. H2 is where I have a refining job running. But yeah, I'm glad glad people were along for the ride. My name is Edward. I usually stream in the morning East Coast time. A little bit late start today. It's going to be at least 10 a.m. East Coast time tomorrow before this job is done. But like I said, I may get on before that. And this stuff gets exported and shows up on my YouTube channel at least 24 hours later. So if you're watching over there, thank you for watching. If you want to watch live, ask questions in chat interactively, find me on Twitch at Edward. And otherwise, I'm going to check in the Easy Hat. And I'll see everybody later. Thanks for watching.